Question of the day. And no doubt this is an issue that is top of mind for many of us because we were all affected by this yesterday. So we're asking you this morning, what is your take on the latest round of load shedding that Eskom implemented yesterday, and how has it affected you? You heard President Cyril Ramaphosa there during the news saying that he was shocked by stage 4 load shedding because we just seem to move from stage 2 to stage 4 all in a blink of an eye. And many people now questioning what is actually going on at Eskom. And we'll have a further conversation following on the one that we had yesterday, just after 6:35, about Eskom and what is happening there. And of course, the plans going forward and where the solutions may lie. Are you as shocked as the president? Let us know. What are your views at Morning Live SABC? And we'll share some of your interactions with us later on in the show. And moving now to our big stories of the day, and these are just some of the ones that we will be tracking as well. And starting there with former ANC Member of Parliament Faiki Mentor, she's expected to conclude her testimony and will be cross-examined today at the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture. Also, the South African Police Service will today brief Parliament's Police Committee on the anti-gang strategy and rollout of specialized units. And then political parties will debate President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address in the National Assembly. So that taking place in Parliament today. So just some of the big stories, and of course there are many others. SABC News Online, that's where you can also go to keep in touch with all the developments, all the inquiries underway and what's coming out of them as well. You have the option to live stream some of those events as well on SABC News Online. All right, let's take a look at some of the top trending topics. And starting there with hashtag load shedding. Need I say more? Of course, stage 4 load shedding experienced across the country yesterday, and it really did influence many a discussion topic. And yesterday, as you drove through the streets of Johannesburg, for example, you would find various areas in darkness, and it hit us here at the SABC as well around midday. And so it will go on today. We have those schedules, some people struggling to read those, but what we do know is that this is an ongoing situation. And Eskom saying yesterday that this situation will actually last until around July. So let us know in our question of the day what you make of all of this. All right, the second one is hashtag Zimbabwe. Of course, once again, lots to talk about around Zimbabwe. But yesterday, quite a bit of discussion around the issue of the currency as well, and calls for Zimbabwe to actually officially adopt the South African rand as the currency there. So that and other discussion points also coming up. I was looking at that yesterday, and just what some people were saying. For example, Ali Naka there on Twitter saying the EFF with 6% has managed to hold the ANC to account, providing an oversight role and holding the executive to account. Meanwhile, in Zimbabwe, the MDC at one stage had the majority in parliament. Results, Dololo. So people going over, some of the developments of late in Zimbabwe and where that country is headed potentially. Also talking about trade and the tobacco industry, for example. What is happening in Zimbabwe? Then hashtag state capture. That, of course, the Zondo Commission of Inquiry. Faiki Mentor there continuing her testimony yesterday, and many discrepancies highlighted in Faiki Mentor's testimony by the evidence leaders. But of course, today, as the millennials will say, today promises to be rather lit because there will be cross-examination of Faiki Mentor by some of those who were implicated in her testimony. And hashtag Soweto Gospel Choir, they of course took home their 3rd Grammy yesterday, and it was all a great big celebration, and South Africans, wishing them well. And this, of course, some of the visuals coming out there of the 61st Grammy Awards yesterday. So doing South Africa proud and flying that flag very high yesterday, and we are all proud of the Soweto Gospel Choir. So those are some of the top trending topics, and we will, of course, also encourage you to use a hashtag for us at Morning Live SABC as you interact with us on all the stories that we have. All right, let's try and get you out of the house. So we'll bring you a weather update, but before that, we'll tell you what's happening on the roads. Rob Byrne, it was kind of wet and slippery coming in this morning, taking a bit longer than usual here in Johannesburg. Not sure what it's looking like and what it's doing to the traffic. Good morning.
Good morning to you, SK. Good morning, South Africa. Wet and slippery conditions with rain always leads to crashes, doesn't it? Let's show you what's going on. Also, some advice at the back of this report about what not to do when it rains and it floods. So stick around for that. First of all, though, we're just getting this in. This is a truck crash between the Ladysmith exit and Escort, sort of to Geller River, to Bergville Plaza, that sort of area. It's a big Clover truck this morning that is overturned across the N3. So if you're moving sort of between Van Rienen's Pass and Escort, there is going to be some delay there. We'll put a picture up. We'll tweet a picture actually onto Twitter at Traffic SA. You can see exactly what's going on. There it is going to be an incident for some time in that part of KZN on the N3. All right, let's get to Joburg. Here's a look at the N12. Doesn't look so wet there, but there is a crash that's between Benoni and Boksburg. You can see the red line of traffic coming through from Tom Jones through Atlas and down to Rondebolt Road. So quite heavy traffic already leaving that part of the East Rand on the N12 towards Joburg. Also in Joburg, Bayers Nordeer and Milner Avenue, there's some roadworks going on at Northcliffe Corner, and that's a really busy junction. I think that's eastbound on the Milner, and that's just going to cause some disruption around Northcliffe Corner. You can see the traffic lights out there yesterday. It was taken during load shedding yesterday, but that roadwork section there, that restriction is going to cause some extra pressure. And talking about rain and what not to do when it's raining heavily, just avoid subways. This is a look at what happened yesterday with the rain out on the East Rand area. It's a subway in Brakpan, and look at that taxi there. That could have been a really, really major issue. Thankfully, we believe no fatalities at that scene, but it had all the ingredients to do it. So, when it comes to flooded subways, just stay away from them. All right, that's the latest look at traffic and travel around the country.